Hey everyone, today I'd like to show you this presentation of exercise that I'm gonna do. And this is the tracking of the performance of a HVAC, heating, ventilating, air conditioning. So there are several components that has to be monitored in terms of their performance, whether the component is within the threshold value in terms of the supply temperature in degrees Celsius, in terms of the refrigerant pressure PSI, pounds per square inch, in terms of the filter delta P or the differential pressure inches water column. So there are other parameters: return temperature, compressor vibration, millimeter per second, supply temperature, etc. So there are many components here, or the like the AHU. It stands for air handling unit. You got several of these component. Then you got the FCU, the fan coil unit. You got several component, spiral unit. Then we got the CH error or failure of the component. Like CH stands for chill water in system design. It's part of an error code. For example, CH02, CH05, etc. CH02 indicating a fault pipe temperature sensor or thermistor fault. So all of this we're gonna monitor, we're gonna track whether they are within the threshold value, the current value. So we're monitoring the performance, and we're gonna find out the status, whether the status is normal, whether the status is warning, uh, and critical situation. Okay, then we're gonna find out the alert statement. Like if it's normal, then we're gonna leave it blank, nothing to worry about. If there's a warning, then we're gonna say approaching limit of the value. Okay, if it is critical condition, then we're gonna say immediate action required to address the error or the fault. So this is a good way of tracking the condition, the operating condition of the HVAC. So if you do it manually, then you're gonna have problem, and you're gonna have lapses in terms of the preventive maintenance or predictive maintenance. Okay, so it's important that you automate the monitoring of the component performance of the HVAC. This is a good tool that you can use, which I recommend for you to use. So you just try to know how it works. So in order for us to be able to automate the monitoring of these components with regard to the parameters that we're gonna track, and whether the current value is within the threshold or already beyond the threshold value. So we're gonna find out by automating it using the VBA code. We're gonna be doing coding for this. So I'm gonna open the VBA editor, Alt plus F11. Okay. Here in the editor, I'm gonna insert a new module. This is the standard module, module 1. Okay, so the code we're gonna we're gonna write the code here in the module number 1, and I'm gonna call it sub, the macro sub evaluate alert, or maybe I could say status. Okay, status, evaluate status. Then the variable that I'm gonna declare here is the dim ws worksheet as worksheet. Another variable is last row, dim last row as long. Then I'm gonna use the I'm gonna use the I as long. Another variable is dim current val. Okay, current val as double. Remember the current value. This is the current value. Remember the current value. This is located in on the fourth column, which is the column D. And also, we're gonna declare the variable, the threshold value. So this is the current value, and this is the threshold value on the fifth column. Okay. So going back to, all right. So another one is the threshold val. Okay, threshold value, threshold val, also as double. Okay, I missed the D here. Threshold value, yeah, as double. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 okay, 5 variables that I have declared. Now I'm gonna set the worksheet. Set ws equals, okay, this is the location of our okay, of our worksheet tab, which is its VAC underscore tracking. Here it is. The name tab of our worksheet is VAC tracking. So I'm gonna open the Visual Basic, and I'm gonna say this workbook okay, that sheets, okay, and I'm gonna specify the location of the name tab of the sheet tab, which I call HVAC. Very important that you have the right name, otherwise you're gonna have error in your code and in your program. Tracking, okay, and also don't forget the quotation mark. Then gonna close it and enter. Also the last row, because we're gonna count the rows, we're gonna loop through the code. We're gonna loop through the rows, so I'm gonna count it. Then I'm gonna use the last row variable for this, equals ws cells, ws.cells. All right, so ws.cells, ws.rows dot count, comma, this is familiar, okay, and always count the column A for the rows, right? Always remember that, okay. Then that end, counting, going up, Excel up, and close it. Then that row, okay, enter. Okay, that would be the last row. Then I'm gonna loop it through. Okay, so for I equals 2. Why? Because the data starts in row number 2 to last row. To last row. That's it. Okay. To last row. Alright. Then I'm gonna get the value of the current value, current val, and the threshold. So I'm gonna say current val equals, of course, the range ws dot cells. It should be the I variable I, and then the column where the current value is located, which is in column D, or column number 4. Then of course that value. All right. Then to make our life easy, I'm gonna just copy this, Control C, Control V, make it faster. Then I'm gonna change this to threshold. Then I'm gonna change this to number 5, column. Okay, which is the threshold, right? Threshold valve. The first one was the in column 4, the current uh, registered parameter. Okay, the pressure or the temperature of the component. Okay, or the flow of refrigerant, for example. All right. So okay, that's declaring our variables. Okay, then the next thing is I'm gonna state the condition, if statement. If current value or val is less than or equal to threshold. Okay, so we assume that the current value is less than or equal to the threshold value. Okay, and that would be normal. Okay, if it is less than the threshold, that would be normal. All right, so then okay, we're gonna specify the worksheet cells, the column number 6 and the column number 7. Column number 6 is the status. If you want to see it here, so column number 6 is the status, right there, column F, and the column number 7 is the alert, or in column G. All right, going back to Visual Basic. So I'm gonna say ws dot cells, right? Again, variable I, and column 6 for the status, right? So that would be the status. That value, okay, that value equals, that would be normal because it is less than or equal to threshold value. So we're gonna state in the column, in the data, the first data, okay, it would be normal. Okay, is that clear? I hope so. Okay, now again, I'm gonna Control C to copy. Okay, then I'm gonna click the Control V to paste. All right. So the thing that I'm gonna change here is the column. Okay, because this is now for the alert. Column number 6 is for the status. Okay, whether it's normal, it's warning, or it's critical. Critical. Okay. So if for 7, this would be for the alert statement. So since it is normal, then I'm not gonna say anything. So I'm gonna leave it blank. All right. Then I need the else f here. Else f. Okay. Else if current val, the current value is less than or equal to uh, threshold. Okay, threshold. Okay, value. But I'm gonna increase. Okay, I'm gonna increase it to make it uh, you know for us to be able to say warning for the status and approaching limit for the alert column. So I'm gonna increase that to, so I'm gonna multiply by 1.2 to make it a warning value. Then, okay, I'm gonna state the cells again. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy this, Control C, then Control V to paste. Then I'm gonna say, okay, 6 column is okay, but here is different because we multiply it by 1.2, 20% multiplication. So I'm gonna say this is not normal anymore. So this would be warning. This should be warning. Okay, that you have problems on the current value. You have problems. Okay, it's 1.2 or 20% increased. Okay, relative to the threshold value. All right. Okay, and there, then I'm gonna say the alert. So in the alert, I'm gonna change this to column 7 because we are in column 7, the alert. In the alert, I'm gonna say approaching limit. We're trying to warn the maintenance crew or the maintenance manager that it is approaching limit. So approaching, something has to be done. Okay. All right, approaching limit. All right. Then otherwise, else, I'm gonna say copy, Control V. Okay. So that's okay. Column 6, we are in column 6 for the status. Then it's not normal. It's not warning, but it's already critical. I'm gonna say critical. So what is critical? Okay, Control plus V. The critical is, okay, we are now in column 7. In column 7, right, column 7. Then what would be our alert? So in alert, I'm gonna say immediate action required. Action required, right there. All right. Then enter. Okay, what's next? That's it. Okay, we got 3 rules. One is for the normal thing in tracking the parameter. Then we get the threshold value or the current value. The threshold value increased by 1.2. Then we get the value which is the column Number 6, which is the status, it's under warning now, and in the alert it's approaching limit. So again, this is we are now okay, otherwise or else I'm gonna say critical and then immediate action required. Okay, and then okay, we're gonna close the F. So I'm gonna say NF, and then for the loop, remember we get a loop. What was our loop? For I equals to 2 to last row. Why 2? Row 2. Because we got headers in row 1. See this? These are the headers in row 1. So our data will start from row 2. Okay, going back. So I'm gonna say next I. Okay, next I. Because we use the I. And then, okay, that's it. Then end sub. That's it for our coding. Okay, for the monitoring of the parameters. Okay, let's go back to Excel, find out. Then what I'm gonna do is, okay, now we got this asset ID, location, parameter, current value, and the alert. Right. So I'm gonna go to the macros, then I'm gonna run. Right. So here we current value of 18, threshold is 22, that's normal. Okay, the refrigerant pressure in terms of PSI, pounds per square inch, the threshold is 300, but the current value is 320. So it's the value is above the threshold. So that's warning, approaching limit for the alert. Then 2.5 current value for the differential pressure in water column. Then the threshold is only 2.0, so that means that's critical already. It needs immediate action, so immediate action required. Okay, etc. Critical, normal warning. All right. So that's how you monitor or you track the performance of your HVAC components. All right. So that's it for our exercise. I'm gonna do the conditional formatting next for this because my video here now is getting longer. So I'm gonna stop here and then I'm gonna do the conditional formatting automation for this exercise. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.